your girl, Sarah from Sarah Styles. Before we get started, I want to remind you to subscribe to my channel so you get the newest content, and then also hit the notification so when a new video comes out, you get a notification about it. Drop your closet name down below too. I love to look at people's closets and share them, so whatnot. And on that note, I am also, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but I have a hat obsession, and I wear them all summer because I can't really do sunscreen, so it protects my face. That being said, I am in the market for, sorry, that lighting's bad. That's better. I am in the market for some new hats. So if you have some awesome, cool hats, drop them down below. This is my husband's Boston hat. He's from Boston. I'm totally in the market for a really cool old vintage, either Denver team or a Boston team. So if you have that, for sure. But if not, any hat would be awesome. So leave your closet down below for sure. And do notifications. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. Join my VIP group. Everything here is headed to my VIP group for 50% off before it's even listed on PoshMark. And then I also wanted to show you. Let me see. How amazing is it? No shame in my thrifting game. Love it. So, wanted to pop on real quick. I am a stay-at-home mom of 3. As you know, I don't get a ton of time to do things. Shopping is one of the hard things for me, as is taking pictures and listings. So I've mentioned, I've done a video before on how I list every day, even though I don't have time to take photos every day. And then I've also talked about retail versus bins. And in one of my videos, I mentioned why I go to retail, because I can pop in quickly. So on that note, today I popped into a retail quickly. I actually went with my 4-year-old, and I had 2 things to take back. I got there and I had the wrong receipt, so I didn't actually get to take them back. And I had about 15 minutes. So I want to show you what I got in 15 minutes and give you some tips to make the biggest bang for your buck at the retail in the least amount of time. So I have a little bit of a strategy. I've talked about it before. I like to do what's called the perimeter. Get to know your stores, get to know where things are, and get to know what sells well. So the thrift store that I was at, I know that they always have Lululemon, athletic. They have a lot of athletic wear, and they don't really know that brand. So that's definitely one of them. They always have amazing dresses, and they typically have some decent stuff behind what's called the showcase. So they have all the stuff behind in the showcase that they think is worth a lot. Sometimes it's priced like ridiculous and you can't get anything, you won't be able to resell it. But if you can go on a sale day, or if they don't know what they have, you can get something. So the first thing that I did, first thing, I went in, when you first walk in, there's a showcase. I popped into the showcase. I'm sure you guys know what this is. I saw this right off the bat. It is the color of the week, so it won't be on sale this week. It won't be on sale till next week. But they actually didn't have it priced that bad, which is really surprising. And something I love about Coach, and why I like to sell it, and why I have good luck with it at retail, is you look in here and there's a label with a serial number in there. So if it doesn't have that, it's a fake. And then as you learn, I have a video on how to tell if it's a fake Coach. But in this one, it doesn't have an F before the numbers, which means that it's retail, which usually means that it's a higher value. And then you can quickly look up the serial number. If the serial number comes up with this bag, it's, 98% is going to be real. So boom, I grabbed this. I knew it was real. 3 minutes and I have, a $50 to $75 bag. So the next thing I did is I kind of walk around. I skipped through men's. I don't know enough about men's to even mess with it, to be honest. I skipped through men's and I went through the dresses. And I quickly browsed through the regular dresses, and I found... I've been thrifty my entire life. So I could just go through and look and be like, oh, that's cute. So I walked through quickly. I probably pulled out 3 dresses, and only one of them was anything that was worth my time. And it was this, and it actually, orange was the sale color. So I got a Madewell dress on sale. It's not a sale day, but they just do the one color tag is 50% off, and it has pockets. It's in great condition. It has some leather on the side. So Madewell, usually, depending on the style, career dresses sell really well for me. And this one is like sturdy, so it makes me think that it's kind of a higher priced one. Madewell, I usually price, I just got home, so I haven't looked up any of this, so some of it may change. But I usually price Madewell dresses between like $30 and $50, depending on what it is. This one is, I'm guessing, will probably be closer to the $50 price range because, like I said, it's sturdy. So it's probably one of their higher end ones. And then I walk down that aisle. You come around. Once I figure out how to, I don't have a GoPro, but I'm going to like maybe tape my phone to my head or something. I want to take you thrifting with me so you can see how I do it. So I walk around the dresses, and then I go to the formal dresses. And why I go to the formal dresses is, typically speaking, formal dresses sell at higher prices. They don't necessarily sell as fast, right? We're kind of coming down to the end of prom season, the end of wedding season, but homecoming is coming up shortly, and then you have, you know, other sweethearts, winter formals, and then, you know, so they're good, and they higher price. So if I have very little time, I know that formal dresses, typically, if I find something, it's going to be at a high price, even if I don't have time to look it up, if I know that it's cute. So as I'm doing that, I go to the formal dresses, and oh my God. You see it? It is a gorgeous, gorgeous wedding dress. It didn't have a label on it, so I don't usually pick up things without a label because I find that they're hard to sell unless it's vintage, because people will look up vintage. And what made me get this one, two reasons I picked this one up quickly in my 15-minute round. One, it's vintage new with tags, like amazing, especially for white. And then it was also orange tag. So it was not only vintage new with tags, it was half off. And another thing with wedding dresses, I've only sold a few. But sometimes wedding dresses can be like large, and trying to ship that is just a mess. But this one is not. It's very sleek. It's gorgeous. So picked up that one. Oh, and now I'm looking. There might be a little stain on the back. So we'll have to see. So picked up that one. And then after I do the dresses, so I'm probably like 8 minutes into it now. I gotta go quick. After I do that, I know which thrift store I'm at, and I know that they typically, any day that I have gone, I have found Lululemon. I've mentioned on my Instagram, and I think in other videos, that I'm in Colorado. It's a fit state. So Lululemon, the North Face, Patagonia, Columbia, Athleta, all of those like are a dime a dozen here. So I go to the athletic wear. And another reason I like athletic wear is Lululemon sells fast. It typically sells at a high price. And typically they don't price it very high. And Lululemon, typically they price all of the pants the same. And so if you can find the Lululemon, you win. And another thing, I've been thrifting so long, I can quickly go through, I will tell you a tip if you're at retail to find Lululemon. So Lululemon, let me show you a pair of pants. Here we go. Also, orange tag, because someone else doesn't know how to find it. So Lululemon, if you found it before, it doesn't have, sometimes it'll have a size tag. Typically, people rip it out. So very rarely are you going to find the size tag. But you don't even always have the size tag. So they look very plain. So as I go through the racks, most brands have, it'll say Nike or Reebok or whatever, and so you can go through the racks quickly, and then if I see something that doesn't have anything, I know there's a couple spots. This one doesn't have it. Does the other one? Oh, neither of these have it. Sometimes with Lululemon, there'll be a zipper pocket in the back, so you can zip that, and if there is a size in there, then you will know that you will have a good inkling that it is Lululemon, and then you will know to look on the bottom of the pants for it. And then on pants, sometimes you'll find it right here. So that's how I find it. And then the feel. So I can go through and look quickly, and if there's no label and it feels nice, then I pull them out and ding ding, Lululemon. So one pair of Lululemons. Did the same thing with these. These ones have a little bit of pilling, but I mean, it's Lululemon. And these ones actually, surprisingly, have it right there. So I think they're probably an older style. But then they also have right here. And what's funny, my 4-year-old, so I've taught her the color that's on sale. So she goes through and looks for the color that's on sale. And then I have taught her, she's getting there, but I've taught her Lululemon, and she's like the perfect height at the pants, right, to go through and find these. So then I quickly went through. I found one other pair that it wasn't in very good shape, and it was an older style, so I didn't pick it up. I found like 2 or 3, the North Face and Patagonia. Unfortunately, the thrift store that I go to knows those brands, and it wasn't a sale day, so it wasn't worth buying for me. It's always so devastating to me, though, to have to leave those brands behind, or anything behind. But so I go through the pants, and now I'm down to, I'm at like 12 minutes, and I went through the shirts. Lululemon, typically speaking, so same thing with, let me find one of their shirts. Same thing with the shirts. Sometimes their shirts, you will find, you can go through the racks and you will see they'll just have the label right there. That's not always the case. Typically that's the size tag. It'll be ripped out, but you don't see anything else. So you can go through the shirts really quickly and look at all the labels. And then if you see something like this, you say, could that be Lululemon? You pull it down. Typically speaking, it's kind of on the bottom corner. Or if it's like a built-in bra, sometimes it'll be like kind of in the back of the bra or like inside of the bra. So I went through and did that, and I found one Lululemon, 2, let me see, I want to show you the label. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. 2 Lululemon tanks. Oh, and this one's my size. I might keep it. 3. All right here. So I went in 15 minutes, and I found 5 pairs of Lululemon, 3 shirts, 2 pants, a vintage with tags wedding dress, a Madewell dress, and a Coach bag. So all of this together, well, let's add it up. So these shirts typically between like 15, 20, depending on the style. So 20, 40, 60. Lululemon pants, depending on the style, between 40 and 60. These ones have a little bit of pilling, so we'll put them in the 40. So we're at $100 to sell. $100 to sell. These are really nice, and these are like great condition. Amazing condition. So these are probably closer to the 50 price range. So now we're at $150 to sell. Vintage wedding dresses, it may sit, so you have to be willing to put money to sit, but vintage wedding dresses typically are going to sell between $100 and $200 depending. This doesn't have a label on it, so I have to do some research, but even without a label, it's vintage and people love vintage. So a vintage wedding dress, we'll put that at $150, so now I'm at $300. A Madewell dress, there we go, Madewell dress, this one looks nicer, so we'll put it at $50. Well, let's do 40 to be safe. And then a gorgeous Coach purse. I did look this one up to make sure it was real, and the comps were, between $50 and $75. So now I lost my count. What were we at? Like 300 with the Madewell, 340 with this 60, so $400. I went to the retail store. I had 15 minutes. I walked around and did my routes, gave you a few tips on how to find good things in a short amount of time. 15 minutes, $400 to sell on PoshMark and Ebay. So I hope you enjoy this. Have a good night for sure, and leave your closet down below. Head over to my VIP to get all of these. Anything here is going to be on my VIP for 50% off before it's even listed on Poshmark. You get first dibs. And then follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Have a good night.